Alrighty then. Hello. Let's get all this set up here. Here. I love when I can hear myself, and by love I mean hate. Alright, let's grab all this stuff. Hello. Hope you're all doing well today. I'll get some music on here in just a minute. Let me get everything kind of set up, because I was watching some stuff instead of doing proper stream prep, because I hate being responsible. Hope you're all doing well. CA trailer copium? That's some pretty intense copium. If you're hoping for that today. I don't think it's coming out this week. I think it'll be coming out soon, but I don't think it's coming out this week. Though I suppose soon is relative, isn't it? Welcome. It's good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I figured, okay, so granted, we'll probably repeat this a little bit over the course of the stream, but for anyone unaware, today Games Workshop is putting on a reveal show in about an hour, where they're going to be showing off some new stuff for the old world and for what you call it? God, I'm having a brain fart. The old world and Age of Sigmar, 40K, Horus Heresy, and Black Library. So it may be an even split of 40K to fantasy, God's willing, but we'll see. I should put on some background music, shouldn't I? I feel like you don't want to do Nintendo music anymore. Because they're, like, releasing their own stuff. What's some chill, royalty-free background music? You know, we get to play that fun game today where every time Games Workshop reveals something, I have to hit the mute button fast enough so that I don't get slapped for copyright bullshit. How about...
Another wretched foul lizard thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
It is so annoying to me that...
I fight Groby tomorrow for the first time in the old world as Dawi. So excited.
Oh, nice! I hope you have a good time.
Another wretched foul lizard thing joins the red host.
Let's do this one.
Cursed Sotek spawn.
36 months. Do you mean time between old world releases?
I mean, you're not entirely wrong. Salter, thank you so much for the 41 months. God, it's a super fucking crazy long time. Thank you very much for the, good luck in your game tomorrow. I hope you are able to strike out many grudges. Super Ego, thank you for the 3 years. Oh my good lord. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. What do I think is going to be revealed today? So for the old world, I would be willing to bet that it's going to be High Elves. We know that High Elves is the next army coming out, the next old world faction. So I suspect that they're going to be showing off maybe some of the new models, maybe some new special characters. I would guess we're maybe going to get young Tyrion and Teclis, kind of like how we got young Thorgrim and young Ungrim. So we might get younger Tyrion and Teclis. If Games Workshop wanted to be super fucking cool, it would be really nice to maybe get a playable King Fenebar. That would be pretty cool. Is the Warhammer stream on Twitch or YouTube? Games Workshop does Twitch only. They do Twitch only.
Another wretched foulism thing joins the red host. Cursed Sotek spawn.
Let's Lord Chris, thank you so much for the 12 months, the year. Thank you so much. Doing dishes, always good. Getting stuff done. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. But it's probably mostly going to be revealing like what high elf models they're bringing back. A lot of the stuff that was discontinued. So bringing all those things back. Oh, do they do it on YouTube as well? Oh, okay. I always watch it on Twitch. Resistance, thank you very much for the 33 months. Hawk Oddly, thank you for the 49 months. Good lord.
Sotnom.
How many years till Cathay releases? Genuinely, I would not expect Cathay until next year, like late next year at the earliest. Bugmans, thank you so much for the 3 years. Holy shit, that's a really long time. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. How long till the reveal show starts? About 50 minutes. But I wanted to come on and just kind of chat and be able to relax.
Lord cheers.
Brainbug, thank you for the 43 months. Man, y'all are starting to get some big fat numbers, dude. Thanks for the hype train, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is very appreciated. Biofoot, thank you for the super chat. Fingers crossed for Fishman. God's willing. God's willing. For me, the thing that'll be interesting, so I don't think we know what they're doing for Age of Sigmar, right? Because Slaves to Darkness, I think, comes out this upcoming week. Like, I know Slaves to Darkness is either just about to come out or just did come out. So they're kind of overdue for a destruction book. So maybe doing like Orruk Warclans or Sons of Behemoth. I could see them maybe doing a destruction book, and that, like, I mean, presumably they're going to be revealing something new if they're going to do it at a reveal show. Not just like, oh, here's the new book, but some new minis. It'll be interesting though. Biofoot, thank you very much for the 40 months. Do I think the Beasts of Chaos are going to mention? They're not at this show, no. To my understanding, the Beastmen of Warhammer Fantasy, or the old world, the Beastmen are going to be the last faction to get a book. It's either them or the Wood Elves. So, because we know High Elves are next, and then after High Elves is the Empire, and then the only ones left after that are Beastmen and Wood Elves. Oh yeah, Ogre Maw Tribes could use like a hefty rework for AOS. That would be pretty nice. Don't expect them now, but I hope we get Dawizar during the Year of Chaos. Yeah, the Chaos Dwarfs have been hinted at for a really long time, and it would be nice to see them kind of come out. I just finished reading the last AOS book, the last book from last edition, the Flesh Eater Courts. I pretty much just finished with this book. So I'm about to dive into the core rule book for 4th edition. But yeah, it should be fun. Do you think the Cathay Dragon Kids will have 1 or 2 minis? I bet they'll have 2 each, regular Dragon Tail. Like, Games Workshop has done that before. They did that with Marathi's model. Granted, now they've changed her rules, so now they can have it with I don't know, brain fart. They Marathi, her original mini, you could have like one of her forms out on the table, and then as they moved into a later edition, they changed it where you could have both versions. You had to have both versions of Marathi on the table at the same time, and they just kind of like shared wounds. So I suspect with the Dragon Kids, they will introduce some kind of system where you could have them in both forms. But we'll have to see. It's going to be weird, though, for Warhammer Fantasy because of the whole way that, like, characters work, as, you know, it's more about them being in units. And then when they're monsters, they leave the unit and become something else. So I'm curious how they're going to do, like, how they're going to approach that, because there are several different ways they could do it. Because presumably when they turn into their dragon form, they would no longer be allowed to be part of the base unit. But yeah.
Another wretched foul lizard thing joins the
Hey, Holy Artist, thanks so much for the 32 months. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It is deeply appreciated. Thank you. Cannot thank you guys enough. The support is deeply appreciated. Thank you all so much for the hype train. That was that's always a very lovely way to start a stream. Really appreciate the support. But yeah, I think the big thing for me, so we know there's a new Gotrek novel coming, which is Rat Slayer or it's Vermin Slayer, I think. So Vermin Slayer is coming up, which is it's written by David Geimer, which is interesting because David Geimer has not written a main Gotrek book in like a hot second. I love his Gotrek books, but he handed it over to Darius Hinks, and Darius Hinks did his trilogy. So we got the full Darius Hinks trilogy, and then Darius handed it off to I can't even read who that is, but whoever wrote Blightslayer. But Blightslayer was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I would actually say confidently it's my least favorite of the set. But Geimer is back for Vermin Slayer, which will be really interesting. He has already confirmed on social media that it's not Thankful. So like it's not a Thankful rematch. It's a new set of Skaven characters. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. By the way, are the Matt Misi canon to Warhammer Fantasy or no? So Matt Misi's is a canonical character who is Matt Misi's is one of the founding 7 vampires. He was the court vizier to Neferata, and Matt Misi's canonically after Lamia fell and the vampires all got like scooped up by Nagash, and then Vlad did the whole thing with the ring that set the vampires free and they scattered. Matt Misi's canonically went south into the jungles of the Southlands. Everything beyond that point is not canon. So like we don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about Matt Misi's bloodline. We don't know what it's called. We don't know what its like traits are. There's no other information about it. There was some writers with the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd edition who wanted to write some lore and some information about Matt Misi's bloodline, but Games Workshop rejected the proposal. So some people, to my understanding, there are some of those writers have kind of like released just for funsies. They kind of put out what they would have done. So like a good example is, oh my god, I had him on Lorebeards like ages ago. Hold on, I've actually got it right here on my bookmarks. Oh no, he took it down. Well, that's super annoying. I'll have to... I can't remember his name, but the one of the writers on Nike's Dark Masters made his own version of he made his own version of the Matt Misi's Bloodline, and also the Jade Vampires. So he made his own version of Jade Vampires, he made his own version of Matt Misi's Bloodline, and he just kind of released it for free online, but it's not canon. It's not, like, official. It's just what he would have done. When is the Games Workshop stream starting? On the turn of the next hour. So if it's in about 45 minutes. It was Steve D. Yeah, it was Steve D. So Steve Darlington. Yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody posted on the subreddit, the Total War subreddit. I saw somebody posted a fan version, like a fan-made army book about the Matt Misi's Bloodline, and they were like insect vampires. It was cool. It's not what I would want to do with them. I would not want to do that with the Matt Misi's Bloodline. I would want to do something very different. But it is a very well-made fan book. Where's Skull Taker? Taking Skull somewhere, I presume. From what I've heard, we are not in any danger whatsoever of the DLC being delayed. Like, the DLC is coming out this year. So I suspect they're going to announce it next week. Because if they did do it today, which they didn't, because they would have done it earlier, then it's definitely going to be next week. I would feel pretty confident in saying. Hopefully it's not on Thanksgiving, so that I don't have to break away from my family to, like, do a video about it. Because that would be... I wouldn't mind, but my family would probably find that very annoying. Do I think we'll get Morgoroth the Scarred in the game since it was made for the old world? I doubt it. Because Games Workshop would have to, like, dial in on what, like, kind of, like, chat about what he, like, fully is. And I don't think can you even, hold on. I forget that Games Workshop's website is, like, Forge World isn't an actual website anymore, so I have to, oh god, where do they hide Forge World on here now? Because the Forge World website just redirects you now, doesn't it? Yeah, so there's no more... The Forge World website is gone. So, how do I look up... Yeah, so you can't even buy... Yeah, no, you can't buy the model anymore. So no, I don't think they're going to do anything with them. Nope. I think if you missed your chance to get him, that's it. I think he's gone forever. I don't see them bringing back Morgoroth the Scarred. I think they're going to let that beastie rest at the bottom of the lake and not mess with it. Emma, thank you very much for the 8 months. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Forever in our hearts alongside Sotek?
Yes, because we're all gonna die one day. And then I'll be gone forever. Big Porpoise, thank you for the 26 months. I mean, I never gave a shit about Morgoroth the Scarred. I did not like that many. It was so boring to me. Of, like, it was a really big, cool dragon, but the fact that they were like, oh, let's do a Cornet Chaos Dragon, and it was just a really basic dragon. I found that really disappointing. Like, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Tarmacon's Khorne brother. I don't have, like, proof, but I think that's what he was. And I thought he was so badly made. Like, I think he was just way more boring than Tarmacon was. Like, Tarmacon was like this really cool maggot creature inside of an ogre corpse riding on a giant new toad monster. And for Khorne, they're like, what if we did a half-naked guy with scars riding on a really stereotypical Warhammer dragon? And it was like, really? Like, that's it? Am I really excited for today's Lawhammer stream? I am. I'm not going to watch it. I am going to raid it. So after the stream's over, we're going to raid over there. But I personally am not going to watch it because I'm not caught up. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind. AOS lore on Mazarol the Butcher, is that that really random ass Khorne model they had? Yeah, the Demon Prince of Khorne. Yeah, I don't even know what this guy was released for. I think he was supposed to be in the same release as Vorgoroth the Scarred. Like, when Vorgoroth's Forge World book came out, Mazarol was supposed to come with him. So, like, there's only 2 paragraphs on him, and that's it. And there's nothing about him, really, at all. It just says he's a demon prince, he has a couple of magic items, and nobody knows his history. That's it. Pretty sure he would have been, like, one of Vorgoroth's lieutenants, more than likely. He was a cool-looking mini, but unfortunately his book never got released, so the only lore he got was, like, a small snippet on his initial War Scroll page for AOS, like, 1st edition. Hugh, good to see you, man. How you doing? I'd like to hear your thoughts on the new Seraphon warband. I am buying it the millisecond it goes off on pre-order. I am so fucking excited for that new Gorok mini that it's not even funny. And, okay, I realize a lot of people on Twitter are too stupid to realize that I know it's not Gorok. I can read. I'm aware of that, but I don't really care, because, like, it's literally just Gorok's mini. Like, he has the exact same equipment, he has the exact same scars. Like, I realize that it is a generic model now because Age of Sigmar is stupid and doesn't like... I don't know why they transition special characters into generic characters. It drives me crazy when they do that. But it's Gorok. Like, I just don't care what anyone else has to say on that. It's the Gorok mini. I'm going to use it as Gorok. But I am excited for it. I have like a local group of friends that play like some tabletop stuff, and we kind of took a bit of a hiatus over most of the fall, just due to like people being busy and people getting sick and all sorts of other stuff. During the hiatus is when like we were like doing like D&D and like AOS, but we kind of fell off with all that. So I think we're kind of hoping to get back together and play Age of Sigmar Underworlds, because the new art, or the new Underworlds game apparently is pretty good. Like, it's pretty decent. So I'm gonna pick up the new warband, the Itzel's Jaws of Itzel, and do that. Probably just gonna play Underworlds for a bit. How do I feel about the launch of the old world? Honestly, overall, I am not a fan. I really dislike how Games Workshop has handled it. It feels like it's been pretty heavily mismanaged, because clearly there was a very dramatic change of plans, and I've spoken with people that worked very closely with Games Workshop or work at Games Workshop about the old world, and basically what it boils down to was that the initial version of the game was what I wanted it to be, where the goal was to come out and support the releases of like every faction. So like every faction that existed in fantasy was going to be supported and have like regular rules. There was no legend rules. They were just regular rules. And then some stupid bullshit happened where the Age of Sigmar team, and I blame the upper heads at GW for causing it, but GW has a really aggressive strategy where, how do I explain this? So Games Workshop as a company has a very aggressive strategy where they functionally will pit their studios against each other. So like the Age of Sigmar studio versus the Old World studio versus the 40k studio versus the Horus Heresy studio, etc. Which is a major reason, and honestly like the reason, Games Workshop does not like and does not support people using your models in multiple games. They don't want you to do that because A, they believe that it's better for them financially if you're forced to buy a new army for every single game, which is bullshit. Like I think that's super stupid. Because like the people I know don't do that, but I know whales do that. And to be very frank, Games Workshop is a company that caters to whales, not like the common fan. But because of that system, Games Workshop came down on Forge World and basically said, okay, Age of Sigmar team and Old World team, y'all need to get together, or like we need to figure out who gets what. So you're not allowed to share it. Everyone has to like have their own stuff. So they finagled it out, and that's how we got stuff like the Lizardmen are not in the Lizardmen, the Demons of Chaos, the Ogre Kingdoms, the Skaven, and the Vampire Counts were all removed from the old world because they were like, well, we want those as Age of Sigmar stuff, not fantasy stuff, and so all that stupid shit happened. I hate that. I would not have allowed that if I was in charge. The other thing is that Games Workshop had a clear goal to start off really, really aggressive. The original plan was to be very aggressive with the original factions.
Give me them Empire reveals.
Bear Minis, thank you so much for the 9 months. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm down for Empire or High. I know it's Empire or High Elves. I don't know which one it is, but I know it's one of them. So I am looking forward to it. As I said, I have no idea which it's gonna be, but it's gonna be one of those two. The other thing is that games. So to my understanding, the original plan for the old world, which I would have loved, would have been we support all of the original like 15 or 16 races, and we re-release a lot of their minis. With you still do like the Army Book Arcane Journal thing where they get new minis, but like you support all of them at once. And then I think if they had not pulled the Legends bullshit, that would have been a perfectly fine first edition. The Legends stuff pisses me off, but it's whatever. What the hope is, I think, and what Games Workshop originally wanted to have 2 new races in the first edition of the old world. The first the first new races were supposed to be Kislev and Grand Cathay. As Games Workshop had worked really well in tandem with Creative Assembly, and Games Workshop had been heavily working on miniatures for Kislev. I know for a fact. I also know for a fact, based on individuals I spoke with, that I can say with extreme confidence were heavily involved, that there was supposed to be a playable, full with rules, Grand Cathay and Kislev very quickly in the old world's life cycle. But something changed. I don't know exactly what happened, but a lot of things pivoted where, and I don't know if it was because of the pandemic or if it was because of, who knows what happened. But something went down where GW decided to very aggressively alter their strategy. So first edition, the old world became, we're purely doing re-releasing old sculpts we already have, and we're going to make this like nostalgia bait. So it was very heavily nostalgia bait, with a very rare amount of new miniatures.
Cheered. X100. Wait, reveal of what? Time of 3 Emperors? Or Eos?
Both. They're doing well, it's not the time of 3 Emperors, because the time of 3 Emperors is over. Or ending. But technically both. When do I think the new trailer will drop? Next week. Probably next week. Knowing CA, either Tuesday or Thursday. But probably next week. But anyway, so do I like how the old world's been released? No. Personally, I hate it a lot because to me, it has been very nostalgia bait. Which I don't have nostalgia for a lot of the old Warhammer Fantasy stuff. I am not a nostalgia-coded person. I tend to very much prefer when things are newer and shinier. So for me, for Games Workshop to come out and be like, look, we're releasing minis from like the 1990s and the early 2000s, that pisses me off. That does not entertain me. I am very, very much hoping that second edition, the old world, will be an actual game. Like, I am dearly hoping it will be an actual game that they're introducing new races and new systems. Like, give me a Grand Cathay army, give me a Kislev army, start expanding the world. I've heard rumors that Games Workshop is considering doing like an Eastern theater, so kind of having it where first edition, the old world is more focused on like the actual old world, and then second edition is going to be more focused on the Eastern theater, which is going to be things like Kislev up in the Zorn Uzkul, and then you have like your Grand Cathay just over the mountains, and then you do things like the Hobgoblin Khanate, which they've been hinting pretty consistently that they want to do the Hobgoblin Khanate. And then from there, hopefully going to things like Nippon, the Naga of Koresh, and the Kingdoms of End. Because if they were to do that, they could do a good job expanding the campaign and do some actual storytelling. But because I think the thing I hate the most about the old world is there's barely any lore. Like, it's a very stagnant, boring, garbage storyline right now. There's been no new novels. They've had one novel which they released right at the beginning, and then that's it. So there's been no new novels. The arcane journals are terrible. I fucking hate the arcane journals. They're so small. They feel really cheap. There's barely any stories in them. Like the Warriors of Chaos one I found particularly insulting because it features Galrach as one of the 2 special characters, and he does not get any lore. Like, there is not a single page of lore on Galrach, despite the fact he's one of only 2 special characters in the entire book. Like, I think they gave him like 4 sentences, and it's literally just copy pasted from older editions. But like, the lack of storytelling is very irritating to me. So that is my opinion on it. Hammond, thank you so much for the super chat. Why did Vlad's essence float away after being incinerated? Because he had Akshi skin. Should have hydrated. It's true. It's true. He should have hydrated properly. That's the problem with when you're dead, right? When you're undead, your skin doesn't naturally moisturize itself. So yeah, you do gotta watch out for that shit. That's why Tomb Kings are flammable. They don't moisturize properly. Mornington Crescent, thank you very much for the bits. Holy Artist, thank you for the bits. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see some good stuff. Like, I have enjoyed when they do release actual new minis for the old world, I have liked pretty much all of them. Has the old world not sold? No, the old world has sold well. That's the most irritating thing about it, is apparently the old world has sold very well. Like, especially for essentially being treated as like a very sideline specialist game, it has sold like exceptionally well. And it's borderline fucking impossible to get the minis. Like, it is so fucking hard to get a lot of the old world minis because they sell out so fast, and Games Workshop takes forever to restock them. It is absolute torture trying to support this game. Because so much stuff tends to be sold out. Like, I had to go out of my way to get my hands on the Dwarf Arcane Journal, the Dwarf Mountain Kingdoms, because it is been sold out in my area where I can't even buy it online on the website. I had to call around to stores to find a fucking copy of just the basic bitch rulebook because it's sold out so much. Ungrim Iron Fist in my area is still sold out. Bretonnians are missing. So much Bretonnian stuff is out of stock. Lady Elise Duchard, there are community websites dedicated to sending you an email when Lady Elise Duchard is in stock, because she sells out instantly every single time they restock. So she's out of stock still. All of the new Bretonnia stuff is out of stock in my area. I think the Orcs and Goblins, the new special character, Ogdra Swamp Digger, he's been out of stock forever and is still out of stock. I think pretty much everything else is in stock. No, the Shamans are all out of stock. What's the Tomb Kings situation? I think Tomb Kings are doing okay now. I lied. Never mind, I lied. See, in my area, Ushabti with Great Bows are out of stock. Tomb Scorpions are out of stock. Casket of Souls and Screaming Skull Catapults are out of stock. Cetra the Imperishable is out of stock. Tomb Swarms are out of stock. Battle Standard Bearers are out of stock. For Warriors of Chaos... Okay, Warriors of Chaos are looking okay. The only thing out of stock for Warriors of Chaos in my area is upgrade sprues for Chaos Warriors that let them have halberds and the Hell Cannon. But like, it's insane how difficult it is to just get minis. Who's Lady Elise Duchard supposed to be? She is a notable prophetess of the kingdom of... Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to remember what duchy she's from. She's either from... I want to say she's either from Carcassonne or she's from Artois. I can't remember, though. It's been a hot minute. But she is a notable prophetess that supports kind of like the main-ish faction. of Bretonnia. Oh, Brion. That's right. It is Brion. Yeah. I'm still waiting on the Dwarf Queen to be made to order. Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't do Queen Helga. Considering they did, like, the original... They did, like, that, like, second or third edition group of dwarfs. Queen Helga would have been, I think, actually a pretty cool mini to re-release. But we'll have to see. I mean, we're starting to get some, like, really nice, diverse model ranges from Age of Sigmar, where, like, the new Fire Slayers, we're getting, like, a lot more lady dwarfs. So, I don't know, maybe they'll do something with that. Will there be any vampire content for the old world? Not for a while. Right now, I think Games Workshop is sticking to their guns as far as not supporting the Legends ranges. Like, not wanting people to play Legends factions in the old world. I don't know how long they're going to commit to that, because Games Workshop is notoriously flip-floppy. Sometimes they'll kind of come out of left field and be like, oh, we're not allowing you to do this thing anymore. And then 6 months later, they'll change their opinion. They'll do like a full 180. It's really hard to tell with them. And it's just because, like, somebody new will come in, like the marketing people will change, or somebody will be like, oh, we could make more money if we did this, like, other thing. So it's just a matter of who is making the calls at the moment. Because, like, for right now, they're not allowing the Legends factions. But, you know, a year from now, you might have you might have a new person come in that's like, well, no, if we made all these factions playable, then we could, like, sell, like, we could really aggressively sell all this other stuff. And then suddenly they'll be allowed again. Like, you never know. Oh, they did do a re-release of the Queen Helga. Oh, okay, I just missed it. I mean, granted, she's not like playable per se. Like, if you wanted to use her, you just use the rules for, like, a dwarf king or lord or whatever. I just want to see actual new minis. Like, the thing that I really dislike about the old world is that I feel like it's them just reprinting just the ugliest minis and selling them for obscene prices and being like, look, we brought it back, aren't you happy? And it's like, this is not what I or anybody with a brain wanted, I think. It's like, I want, like, nice looking minis, because you're gonna charge me an arm and the leg regardless, so I'd rather have nicer looking things than old shit. But I'm also kind of waiting for the rules to settle a bit. Like, I'm kind of hoping for a new edition. Like, I think I'll give the old world another big try again in 2nd edition. The current edition, I'm not a huge fan of the monster rules.
Holy Artist 95 cheered. X1000. Tell us the one shower and some lore you'd love to see in the old world.
I mean, the big thing that I would like to see that's kind of on my head right now is that I am most excited for either, if we're talking about Empire, a Magnus the Pious model. And if we're talking about High Elves, a Phoenix King Finnebar model. because both of them have like really iconic appearances and participate in like big epic battles, but they're kind of like criminally underutilized in the old in like old fantasy. Like Magnus the Pious was an actual playable model for a while in fantasy, but by the time I started playing fantasy, they were kind of phasing out a lot of the like legacy characters outside of certain armies. So like Magnus the Pious was no longer playable when I started playing fantasy. But like getting to know who Magnus actually is, like actually getting his full story of like where does Magnus come from, like you know, when he has this rise in Nuln as a like he's kind of like this nobleman in Nuln that rises up and starts preaching the word of Sigmar, what leads him to do that, you know, all that stuff. But Finnebar is probably my biggest one. Like, Phoenix King Finnebar is supposed to be a pretty decent badass who was able to go out into the world by himself, and he explored and, like, did a lot of really cool shit and, like, fought monsters and creatures and survived in some really perilous environments and then made his way back to Ulthuan. And it's like, I would love to get... I want to know all the details of Finnebar's seafaring. Like, I want to know where exactly he went, what he encountered, did he fight anybody, did he make any notable allies, did he have any cool encounters, and, you know, have him as a playable character that can lead your armies. Because the Phoenix Kings, most of the Phoenix Kings were pretty kick-ass, and were good at showing up on the battlefield and kicking butts and chewing bubblegum, as Andy would say. But Finnebar is supposed to be one of those, like, fairly kick-ass kings, and he just kind of got criminally, like, relegated to the side. Is Finnebar still alive to the end times, or did he... no, Finnebar dies at the very beginning of the end times. So, like, he takes... So when the end times starts, I want to say Finnebar takes roughly... He takes, like, 6 months to a year to die. But he's around for the end times. Prophetum Nox, if you're playing Bretonnian Exiles, Free Guild Fusiliers and Canon fit well for the Border Princes units. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I do like the side armies that you get in the Arcane Journals. I don't like how exclusive the units are. Like, I wish the units were a little bit more reasonable. To me, it's really stupid when, like, the Tomb King book is like, oh, you've got Tomb Guard on chariots, which it's like, oh, that seems like that should be available to pretty much everything. And it's like, no, it's only available for, like, this specific sub-faction. It's like, well, that's fucking dumb. Like, I don't like how exclusive some of the side factions are. Or sub-factions, I should say.
Tech 27 SS cheered. X100. Finnebar or Bretonnia ever interacted with the Reform Empire?
Yeah, 100%. Like, they should, 100%. There should be tons of interaction there. Attila, agreed as far as the old plastic being hard on the eyes. I was pretty much ready to walk away from this edition once Cetra didn't get a new mini. Yeah, Cetra not getting a mini, to me, was the most inexplicable, bizarre thing. Like, and... the thing for me that showed that the old world was not getting good people behind it, in my opinion, like the people that were making the decisions for how the old world was going to be adapted, I think were making really stupid, genuinely idiotic decisions. Was when they were like, okay, we're not going to do Cetra as like the big mini for the start of the old world, which he should have been. But the thing that really grinded my gears was that they finally gave us a unique mini that was like super fucking awesome for oh my god, what's his name? The Herald. Cetra's personal herald. I can't remember his name off the top of my head for some reason. Whatever, you know who I'm talking about. Harold Nakoff, thank you. So the Harold Nakoff they're like, okay, we're gonna make a brand new mini for Harold Nakov, who's never had his own mini. And I'm like, okay, go, good, okay, I'm super down for that. Cool. And then they fucking come in, and what should have happened is somebody should have looked at the Harold Nakov and said, okay, the Harold Nakov is designed to be Cetra's bodyguard. And the idea behind him is that he's supposed to go out in front of the army and, like, read off all the shit and do all that thing, and then fight to protect Cetra. So, the Harold Nakov needs a way to be in front of the rest of the Tomb King army, or next to Cetra where he can protect them. So he should be on a chariot. Or a horse, but probably a chariot. Because in his stories, he often shows up on a chariot. And if he's going to protect Cetra, he has to be on a chariot to keep up with Cetra. And they released him as a infantry-only model. You can only run him on foot. And it's like, what? Like, the fact that he did not, like, I would have been fine if it was optional. Like, he should have been optionally on foot or on a chariot. The fact that you have to run him on foot drives me fucking insane. Because it's like, what idiot looked at Nakov and just didn't think about it? Like, you could tell they just didn't think about it. And, like, his special rules don't make any fucking sense. Because his special rules are like, oh, if he's in a combat that Cetra is also in, then he gets bonus rules. And it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to get Nakov and Cetra into the same combat? Like, what Games Workshop is basically forcing you to try to do is you have to put Nakov in a big infantry block, move the infantry block forward and get it into a big fight, and then charge Cetra charge Cetra in somehow from some other direction into that combat so that they're in the same combat. And it's so dumb. And it to me, it just shows that Games Workshop is not thinking. Like, they're not doing a good job thinking ahead and planning. And that shit drives me absolutely up the wall. Like, they could fix it so easily by just saying, oh, if you want, you can upgrade Nakov so that he rides a chariot. And if you do that, just take his mini and you put it on a chariot. Like, cool. And it just, I just hate it. I hate it so much. Like, all they had to do was give him a chariot version. But yeah, the Tomb Kings make me sad. They make me very sad. Like, the millisecond we got old shitty looking Cetra, and they were like, by the way, we're not going to give you any new skeletons. We're not going to give you any new chariots. Like, just, you know, whatever. Get fucked. And it's like, why are you doing this to me, man? Like, at least Age of Sigmar still makes me excited and happy. Because the old world sure doesn't most of the time. Boy Magico, next Q&A stream win. Looking forward to solo Sotek lore. Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, we can do one of those here pretty soon. Maybe next week. That could be fun. Arbalest42, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. Got the dragon. I do like the dragon. I will say, the Bone Dragon was a cool addition, and I enjoyed it immensely. It just was not what they needed. Like, could you imagine if they had released a new chariot mini just so we got to see, like, nice looking skeletons, nice looking skeleton horses, nice looking chariots? Like, instead of, they're just like, nope, no, you get a dragon. You didn't really need a dragon, but we're gonna give you a dragon. And I'm like, okay, I accept the dragon. The dragon's cool, But, like, can I get some, like, basic bitch units, please? Instead of just characters? Do I do dedicated to Age of Sigmar lore streams? No, but I should. I should. How long till the show starts? 5 minutes. Arbalest 42, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. So sorry, I apologize. I don't know why I'm in such a bitchy mood today. I apologize. I'm very sorry. Let's try and be a little more positive. Let's get a little more let's get a little more positivity going. I didn't mean to get off on a big bitch rant. I will say I am looking forward to the reveals today. I'm a little sad that they're not doing a Warhammer Underworlds reveal today, because I feel like Warhammer Underworlds is like the GOAT right now. Like, every time they release a new warband, it's always these absolutely gorgeous S-tier minis that are just really pretty to look at and are like super thematic and awesome. I cannot express how excited I am for tomorrow to get my hands on the Jaws of Itzel. I'm gonna change out the battery in my headphones real quick because they're a little low. And we want to make sure my headset does not die during this, even though, knowing GW, we're going to have to mute every time they do a reveal, because they may be a multi-million pound company, but they're still too lazy to use music in their trailers that's copyright free, you know, because they could use their own music and make sure that they don't enforce copyright on it, but, you know, they're like, but we could get money by using music and stealing ad revenue from people that are encouraged to come watch our stream. Anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Underworlds. I need to reach out to some professional painters and see if I can commission someone to paint the minis for me. It's aspirational bitching, which is at least semi-positive. That's a very fair way to put it, Born. That I appreciate that. It's a very nice way to put it. I will say, hopefully this will be better than the last reveal show. I don't know if y'all remember the last reveal show. Oh my lord, the most recent one before this one was crazy how bad it was. It was genuinely hysterical how bad of a reveal show it was. So hopefully this one will be better because the last one was just terrible. I think they showed up and they revealed like 3 things, and it was just not exciting. It was really sad. But yeah. The big thing I need to do in here is I need to get some graph paper, because now that it's cooled off a bit, I need to reorganize all the furniture in this room, which I'm dreading, but I need to do, because like I want to do some different stream stuff. Like, I'd really like to get back to doing painting streams, all that kind of stuff for y'all, but I have to rearrange this room because the way it's currently set up, I can't do painting streams like this, because my current setup just doesn't work right. And so I've gotta fix it, and I probably need to buy some new shelves and furniture as well. But anyway, the show should be starting very, very soon. Why don't we actually go ahead and mute the background music, and let's go ahead and put this over here. Open this, make this full screen, and we'll go here. Ah, I'm dead. Okay, back up. There we go. The Nova Open. Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, Warg Druid. Good to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the 25 months. Warg, are you going to be playing, are you going to be picking up Underworlds as well? I forget. But yeah, maybe I should reach out to Nikki and see if she would be interested in doing another Seraphon commission, because she did a unit of Saurus for me, and oh, here we go. Once again, I'm not going to have music on because I would like to get ad revenue, please.
To the World Championship online preview.
Here we go.
My name's Nick. This is Alex.
All right.
Alex, we've got a whole bunch.
Get your copium out, lads. Start inhaling. Start juicing. Start juicing. Here we go.
36
Please don't suck. Please don't suck.
That's
Please don't
almost
suck.
3 years.
It's going to be very exciting. We're here, of course, this weekend because the World Championships are taking place in Atlanta right now as we speak.
Atlanta.
Oh
boy.
There as well.
Woo, Atlanta.
Just taking place at Warhammer World
John
Tour
Michael,
2,
thank you for the
and
3
you're there this weekend.
years.
Yeah,
That's not. No, John, that is 3 years.
Being a Necron, I believe.
36 months is 3 years.
But there we go. Welcome to all of you.
Are they not streaming it to YouTube? I don't fucking know. They always stream on Twitch, so I just watch on Twitch.
Our first preview, and this one's been waited for and looked forward to for a long time.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Is this AOS? No, it's 40k. What? On a horse? Oh, Krieg. Wow, look at that. Okay, so full Krieg set. Yeah, okay, that'll be very popular. That's a good start. That's a very strong start to the show. Whoa, what the fuck is wrong with their horses? Oh my god, they don't have hooves. Ugh. So, Astra Militarum with lots of Krieg minis. That's a very strong start. Wow, even more. Command squad? Heavy weapons? Wow, that's a shitload of Krieg. Hey! Yeah, that's a good start.
They're finally here.
Thumbs up, y'all
y'all
like? People excited? Looking good?
Of Krieg into the world, and that's army set.
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
They are,
You approve? You disapprove?
Aren't they?
Yeah, we've had them in the kill.
Those horses are nasty looking.
Resin from Forge World, but now we are getting a whole plethora of.
I'm glad that Games Workshop has figured out how to make horses. It took them a really long time, but their horses look really good now. It took a while, but they finally got there.
On the world of Krieg. Now, Krieg fell into civil war about 500 years ago, and it's never been the same since.
Okay, I'm saying mostly positive.
Wasteland, and when the Imperium
I'm saying mostly positive.
And doing the most Imperium thing possible when.
That's great. That's a really good opening, I think. That's an excellent opening.
Some troops or one regiment provided 20 regiments fully equipped, and immediately the Department of Militarum went, "This is great." Took over the world, sort of tuned everything up to 11.
I will say I'm pleased Valrak is screaming vindication. When is Valrak not screaming vindication? I feel like he does that.
Yes, so,
like I feel like Valrak must do that to his wife or his girlfriend and his children on a regular basis. Every time he comes home, he's like, vindication! Every time he walks in the house. That's just his go-to. That's how he talks dirty to people.
Now the armies of Krieg, great representation of the armies of the Astra Militarum.
Where are the shovels?
Regiments upon regiments.
I mean,
infantry,
I imagine mostly on like their backpacks and stuff. It's mostly a meme than anything. To be fair, Val's often right. It's true. It's true. He does have very good sources.
Yeah, the new codex as well.
Mornington
Right,
Crescent cheered. X100 syndication.
Syndication.
These are incredible. These are the Death Riders.
I will say, I do like the Death Riders a lot. Those are nice sculpts. They look great. I love that they have a command character as well as an individual mini. That's nice.
The Krieg steeds they're on look very much like horses, but they're deceptively not.
They're a bit weird, aren't they?
So they essentially roll off a production line. They're given subdermal armor, they're given rebreathers. You can see there at the end of their legs, they're not hooves, they're claws. So they're a product of Krieg, whereby, life is a little bit cheaper than the tank.
Definitely my favorite mini of the Krieg set. The Death Riders look really good.
And these guys, they
I mean, hell, you could
really pack a punch.
Like those would work great for chaos steeds. Of like, if you want to do some weird kit bashing, you could make those into like really fun chaos steeds if you wanted to.
And they have the screening line rule, which lets them move after enemies have moved as well to protect their lines, and they can get
if only he would do Age of Sigmar rumors.
carries
Yeah, Valrak does not. Unfortunately, AOS never got its hooks into Valrak. I think he got a little too heavily corrupted by the everybody clowning on it and meme hating it for so many years.
And what's nice as well is the steed's claws actually have
That could be a difficult hurdle for a lot of people to get over.
Sharper than a spaceman's combat blade.
Can I make the GW voices a bit louder? No, because I'm gonna talk over them. If you want to listen to them without me talking over them and actually hear them well, you could just go to their stream.
On to the next model. Now, big guns never tire in 40k.
Because, you know, where's that? We get some good news from these gits, eh? So far.
Huge guns, even bigger than the field ordnance we've seen before.
Neat.
Tell me more about the siege artillery of the Krieg's forces.
Krieg tends to specialize.
I'm not really a big
siege warfare.
like. I don't really care for like big boom boom.
You need something that
to be fair, first edition deserves the hate. Yeah, it's fair.
Exactly what these things do. Now, there's a couple of different weapon options for these.
So yeah, there are 4 weapon options for the artillery teams here. We've got the heavy mortars, ideally for just smashing heavy infantry. The quad launchers are there for massed infantry.
I want to build a chaos army, but I can't find old world miniatures anywhere after the end times. So where can I find them? Capitalist, to be honest with you, I would genuinely suggest just use the Age of Sigmar models because they look a lot better. If you're hell-bent on using old fantasy models, I would recommend checking in with local gaming stores that sell GW products around you, or hang out with, like, talk to 3D printers. 3D printing is probably going to be a lot more manageable. If you want to do older minis, I would do third-party or 3D printing. I would not use Games Workshop models if you want to use the old minis. If you want the newer minis, I would just use the Age of Sigmar ones because they're the exact same guys. They just look better.
But they've got a little bit more armor and they're equipped for close quarters fighting. So they've got flamers.
My superpower is touching grass. I will assert though that while AOS 1.0 rules were bad, the lore of first edition is underrated. I would agree. There was a lot of good stuff in first edition. Some of it was but like most of the Realm Gate Wars was pretty good. I enjoyed the Realm Gate Wars.
Attack that one of the guys over the controller just sends out.
I like they got the little like suicide robot.
I'm probably going to be everyone's favorite of the preview, isn't it? Let's be honest.
poor little landmine buggy.
Into battle is the famed Lord Marshal Dreer.
That's a good. That's a really nice character model. Like that's fantastic. That's a great mini. That's good stuff. That's a good mini.
His mount ES819, as I said earlier, they've all got numbers, not names, has fallen several times in battle, and the Lord Marshal insists that it is repaired and returned to him.
The fact it's called repaired rather than just healed. I love it.
And so this has created this kind of...
That's a good character model.
That they are indestructible. But, you know, Dreer is well aware that that's not actually the case.
Well, it's a nice little bit of narrative that comes in the gameplay because this myth...
These are the best 40k sculpts in ages. I agree a lot, actually. Most of the recent Space Marine minis were kind of
which is nice.
Like I was not a huge fan of the Blood Angel minis.
There's the Saber of Sacrifice is a devastating sword too. He's an inspirational leader for your forces. Don't run away when he's nearby. And can lead Death Riders units into the fray as well, which is just great. Gives devastating wounds on a charge to a unit of Death Riders, which is really cool.
New Tyranid models are good. Yeah, but Crew. The Crew were good. Yeah, the Crew were good. That's true. Crew were nice.
Many golden demon entries.
I think it was mostly just the Space Marines that have been striking out a lot.
There's also other stuff coming alongside Death Corps of Krieg. Now, of course, we've got the Astra Militarum Codex here. Now, we've talked a lot about the Krieg stuff.
Which always makes me laugh.
Of course, the Astra Militarum Codex will deal with the entire forces, the Cadians and other forces. It mentions all the regiments of the Astra Militarum in there as well. Just like any other codex you can expect to see.
They got the Age of Sigmar team to make those Krieg horses. they plagiarized those Cavaliers from Cities of Sigmar. Well, I mean, presumably they're similar sculptors.
Sees Rough Riders of Attila charging into battle.
It's nice to see the Astra Militarum is kind of getting back to its non-Cadian roots. It's nice to see a lot more non-Cadian units in the roster. That's good.
well, if you're thinking about starting,
That's good. Like, you got the Rough Riders, and then you can have now a shitload of Krieg.
And of course, the Codex will see every rule, every unit, character, and vehicle. We already know some really exciting stuff about.
Are Space Marines basically just 40k Chaos Warriors? That's kind of their history in a sense, kinda.
Have their own rules. And the detachments in there, there are 5 different detachments for the Astra Militarum.
If you go like way back to the very, very beginning. But that's a history lesson for another time.
For your big guns, the mechanized assault for jumping out of tanks.
What will they do for Age of Sigmar in the old world? I don't know. We'll have to find out together.
The tanks can just roll through terrain like it wasn't there. And last,
oh, come on, baby, you can do it. It's just me or the stream crash. F. Uh-oh. It's not just me. Uh-oh. Let me see if their YouTube stream is working. Nope, that's Valrak. That's not. Oh, wow, it's like...
It wasn't there.
Okay, there we go. Oh, nope. Oh, no, it's like dead. What does Valrak always say? They couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. Okay, here we go. Wow, it just completely turned off. Okay, YouTube! Let's go, YouTube!
Imperial Guard. You've got a choice there.
Yeah, you too! Woohoo! For the save!
The strategy allows you to fire into combat. You might risk your own guys, but it's worth it.
You definitely do risk
Problem
your own
solved.
guys. You're absolutely right. You pull far into a combat, but the unit you're bringing into combat is back in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's
The
great.
stream broke before the guard did.
In the future,
Yeah, it's true.
alongside
It's true.
the Astra Militarum release, after the army set, will include the Death of Krieg command squads.
Yes.
Which is a gorgeous unit as well. Now, interestingly enough here, you'll notice, folks at home, that that's not an officer leading that command squad, that's a commissar, and on the left is a commissar cadet as well. Why commissars here for the Death Corps?
So for most units, a commissar basically acts
What puts me
as
off the most about
measure
40K?
by which morale is kept.
I mean,
everybody does their duty.
For me, it's
around. So they have a habit
so
of not necessarily
heavily focused on humans,
a little bit more,
and that's it,
enthusiastically than other
that I
regiments. So the commissars
just
are often
don't
there
care.
to hold them back.
I've always
Also,
been more of a like sword and magic kind of person, but like if there's a scale, right, and it's like over here is like pure sword and magic, so like Lord of the Rings, Warhammer Fantasy, etc., and then over here is like
That's it. You know this is a he's got the second servo skull, making sure it never touches the ground.
I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, just like World War II tabletop game, right? Like, just humans, historical game. 40K, to me, has always been more like more on this side of the scale, not very far on this side of the scale. Like, I enjoy certain sci-fi settings. Like, I enjoy, like, aspects of Star Wars. I enjoy aspects of, I'm trying to think of other sci-fi settings. But, like, a lot of sci-fi settings will focus on, like, big monsters, lots of aliens, all, like, crazy magic adjacent systems. 40K is very, very, very heavily human focused. The vast majority of the setting is about humans, and just humans, human problems, human shenanigans, and I just don't care. I just can't be bothered to care. So that would probably be the biggest thing, I would say.
And there's some really exciting stuff in there.
Is that the vast majority of everything in 40K is about human on human violence, human on human dilemmas,
coming for
and
one
when
finish
you
off.
have like a
What's
grand
nice is that they've been
setting to work with,
so we just
and
see
that's
that
all it is,
they're
it's like I
so,
just don't give a shit, dude.
their
I just don't care.
detachment they're getting
I have to live with people every day, and it's like it's even worse in some ways because they're Space Marines a lot of the time, most of the time, and Space Marines are even less interesting to me than regular humans. Regular humans, at least I get like, whoa, shush. The Empire! Alright, are the Empire getting anything new, or is it just old stuff? So we got the Griffin. Oh, I saw something new. I definitely saw something new. Yep, bringing back the old Griffin. Nice, love that mini. Steam tank, hopefully in plastic. Demigryph riders are back. Cool. I'm pretty sure I saw a new mini in there.
And returns to the old world.
What do we got here?
Much beloved army for the old world.
Speaking of humans, but here's actually interesting humans.
There is
interesting
a
humans.
huge number of kits coming back for this, and one of the best things about it is that this means you can field a whole Empire army entirely in plastic.
That is great. It's a really cool thing to see. Many people who've played with their Empire in the past
do full plastic now.
Miniatures, if not all of them. It's just great to see them back on the table again. But for now, who are the Empire of Man
also,
at this point?
Fun fact.
So for about 1,000 years.
Fun fact, this means you can actually run Karl Franz again. Because they're bringing back the old Griffin model. So unless they've changed the kit, which I highly doubt they have, if they haven't changed the kit, you should still have all the parts to make Karl Franz.
The occasional skirmish happens, so not everything is particularly peaceful.
Empire armies are made up of professional soldiers. There are blocks of state troops, missile troops, artillery, cavalry.
Cool.
Yep, monsters and war machines too. There's such a fun army to have, and we're going to see loads of old favourites coming back, including the state troops, the missile troops, Pistoliers, the knights, Demigryph knights. And of course, more exotic things like the Steam
It's interesting
Titan,
how well the Knights
General
hold up.
Griffin, and the War Altar. Are all
The War
as
Altar,
well, which is really cool.
So
We've got
you also have like
metal
a
kits coming back
Volkmar
as
mini.
well, right? Remember the Grand Masters of the Knightly Orders?
Oh, the Grand Masters! Those are a fun classic.
When I was young, they're coming back. Warrior Priests, Tuchin Guard are on the way as well.
Tuchin Guard are back. Interesting. Okay, Tuchin Guard are back.
We've got the mate to order stuff with the classic Empire Engineers, Battle Standard Bearer, General on Griffin. The Commander on Pegasus is coming back, flying in from the 90s.
Ugly.
We're also going to see the Imperial Ogres coming back. Now, these predate even my Empire army.
Wow.
Great to see these
Imperial Ogres, have not seen those in a
guy,
long-ass time.
With the hand cannon, but there's also going to be hand weapons and great weapons.
Yeah, there's going to be a few options. Literally hand
Okay,
cannon,
Imperial Ogres, they kind of
Let's
alluded
talk
to
about
those.
Star of the show. It is, of course,
the War Wagon.
The War Wagon.
The War
is making
Wagon.
its appearance back in the old
Oh
world
my lord!
After not being available for some 25 years, it's just
so
great
Total
to see.
Total War obviously
Now,
brought this back.
A Forge World resin kit. It's actually a Forge World remaster. They've taken the original kit.
I was going to say
remastered
this
it up,
looks
sharpened up a lot of the points,
nice.
Made the detail crisper. They've resculpted the horses at the front. Those are
yeah. So this is basically a new mini
that accompanies them. He's a brand new model as well.
Okay, so we got new engineer, new War Wagons.
There's lots of strange.
The War Wagon looks actually pretty good.
Right?
Yes, there is. So these sort of things fell out of fashion in the Empire. But then when Nuln came along and decided to deploy an entire fleet of them, everybody wanted a piece of the action.
You've got in there the man catcher, you've got the bombard launcher, the Hochland long rifle, there's a repeater gun and a hook halberd in there.
Good lord, they have like
all the experimental weapons.
The horses look nice,
just in case one of them explodes, which is nice.
No, they literally just said it's a updated sculpt.
Very soon for the
like
old world
the horses are new,
and of course alongside all the releases we have.
That is literally what they just said.
The Empire of Man. And naturally, it's got all the history of the
Empire.
Like,
it's based on an old mini, and parts of it have not been updated, but elements of it are new.
In there, we can fight a battle against
so it's a remastered model.
And new Armies of Infamy in there as
which
well.
To me is a new model.
So
like, there's updates to it, so it's new as far as I'm concerned.
And there's also, you can field any of the Knightly Orders.
They each have their own special rules, which is nice. Yeah, so you have a
Knightly Orders.
Blazing Sun, which is really cool. And there's some new special characters too.
Who are the special characters?
Harold Gemmenson, Grandmaster of the Knights Panther, and General Hans von Lowenhack.
Now, we're not going to show you pictures of those yet. They are very lovely, I can guarantee. But make sure you're keeping your eye on the Warhammer Community website for...
Okay, so it sounds like they're doing special character minis, but they're going to be delayed.
In an Imperial army for Warhammer Old World. So, yeah, exciting times. So keep your eyes on that and grab hold of that Arcane Journal when it's available. Now, from one old world to another, we're going to the Horus Heresy.
Okay, I'm gonna mute for the story thing. Okay, I mean that's all right. it's all right. So we got new plastic minis for Horus Heresy. The War Wagon was a pleasant surprise. I will say the War Wagon was a pleasant surprise for me. The new engineer looked nice. It was about what I expected. Like, it was, I will say, sadly, it was better than the Warriors of Chaos release. The Warriors of Chaos did not get anything new or refreshed or anything. They got nothing. So the Empire got a little bit better than Warriors of Chaos did. Woo Nolan Army says hi. Yeah.
Loved by Horus Heresy fans all over. Wonderful to see. Actually available
now,
which is really cool for the first
I'm
time.
interested about the new special characters, so we'll see what that's. But I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about for, like, the old world, right?
The Arvis Lighter is basically the workhorse of the Divisio Aeronautica.
I remember using them
Horus Heresy people.
Quite a lot, and they're great in that too. But
Anyone like yay, nay? I was hoping for that.
Transport 12.
I don't.
Models, and they can move 20 inches.
The Horus Heresy to me is like the worst setting that GW has.
Or to get a special unit out of combat as soon as they need to. It's just great to see.
Like, I could not. Like, 40k is not my thing, but I enjoy elements of it. I despise the Horus Heresy.
That's really nice.
I could not give less. Like, I actively am like, it is such a waste of space.
Another couple of tanks.
It is a waste of space.
Tank destroyer. That might be one of the biggest guns I've ever seen. Tell me more about this thing.
So these are based on the Malkador frame, named for the Sigillite. And this is an older variant of tank, which eventually will be replaced by the Lehman Russ, because it's a little bit less reliable. However, it's bigger, thicker armor. At this point in time, it's got a lot more variants. And this tank on top,
Horus Heresy would be cooler with non-humans, yeah, but then it wouldn't be Horus Heresy, apparently.
And these are basically replicas of a Dark Age relic, so they're incredibly powerful, and in order to power it, they've in fact had to remove the front sponson to fit in more power generation.
It's just a giant battery in the back, is it? To find that big gun. I love the fact that the Heresy weapons are called things like a neutron beam laser.
Dark Mechanicum would be interesting for Horus Heresy. You figure they probably play a fairly significant role, so that would genuinely be interesting.
Tough too. Don't get into a tank fight with one of these, you're going to lose. Also on the Malkador frame is the Malkador Infernus, and this one it maybe has a different speciality.
Yeah, so we've gone from heavily anti-tank to heavily anti-infantry. It's got a massive flame weapon on the front. The carriage on the back contains a mixture.
I wonder why they didn't think of creating a new alien race for 40k, because Space Marines are where all the money is.
I was under the impression that maybe this was
it's Space Marine and friends, and if they introduce new aliens, that would take away from the Space Marines. You can't have that.
I love the fact it's got extra.
Can't have that.
In case there's anything nearby enough that didn't get burned by the big cannon. This huge Infernus cannon that it's carrying uses the Hellstorm template, that gigantic, remember the old Apocalypse template? Yeah. That thing is like 18 inches long, and it's strength 8, this flamer, so yeah, it just burns infantry alive. Don't get near it. So up next, we've also got the new Doridio Dreadnought. This is the Boreas configuration. It's even more Covenant guns than any other Doridio Dreadnought has been before.
That's it. So basically, the Doridio is a stable firing platform.
Look how small his waist is. That is a slutty waistline right there.
Early on in the Heresy,
that is a very slutty waistline.
Not necessarily in great use.
He snatched, absolutely snatched.
Astartes, and you need to bring as much firepower as possible. It became very popular.
It's just a wonderful looking kit. I mean, it's so unsubtle. Yeah, it's got big ones too. The Boreas configuration has these air defense missiles on top. It can carry 4 of them. They have the Skyfire rule that just shoots things out of the sky. It can also.
I fucking love how humans are so badly designed we can almost choke on fucking water.
Cannon battery which just blows tanks. So really, really big guns on a really tough toughness 7 2+ save walking platform.
Even has boobs. You're right. It has a real hourglass figure.
Comes alongside 2 weapons kits.
Of course.
So if you've already got a Dreadnought Dreadnought and you want to upgrade it to the Boreas...
have we gotten AOS? No. Age of Sigmar seems like they're going to be the last thing.
That's great. That means you can have real versatility in your modeling kits, and you can really take to...
Don't slut shame the robots. I'm not slut shaming. I would never shame a slut. I celebrate sluts, alright? I celebrate them. Oh, no. AOS time. New Cruel Boys? Ooh. Okay, so we have a new Cruel Boys special character. What in the world? Oh, endless spells! Foot of Gork! We got the Foot of Gork in AOS! It only took 4 editions, but we got the Foot of Gork! Okay, so we've got Greenskin Terrain, Greenskin Endless Spells, and a Hobgoblin character. Alright, you have my attention. You have my attention.
The rules team have taken the chance to separate the factions out.
Dude,
so in that book,
Foot of Gork
and the Iron Jaws are 2 separate factions, essentially 2 different armies that share a couple of things in common throughout the book as well, which is nice. And up first, part of that is this new boss towers. You can see here as well. This is the new faction terrain.
Oh, I love that you can build it as Iron Jaw or Cruel Boy variant. So you have like the Mork variant, the Gork variant.
Cruel Boys version of this.
Yo, that's so cool. I love faction terrain. I know some people hate it. I fucking love faction terrain.
It's not just a
it makes my brain itch good.
In the winds of magic, and say an enemy army is approaching, they'll hear these whispers.
There are hobgoblins. Yeah, they're called hobgrots.
Or you could.
They're not exactly like fantasy hobgoblins because they're squatter, like they're smaller, but they're hobgoblins. But they're hobgrots.
Have a look at the Iron Jaws version. This is the Boss Rock Tower, and similar sort of situation.
How would I want a Rise of Sotek done in 4th edition AOS? I would love for that to be the finale for the current edition, since the Skaven are like rising up. Like have Sotek, like there's like a big war fight. Tanawin comes back, and Tanawin like unleashes like a big ritual that summons Sotek. We get a big Sotek Avatar of Sotek mini. And Sotek like devours part of Blight City. That'd be sick. Thank you, Lord Master Monday. It's good to see you. How hobgoblin are these hobgrots? Not very. They're pretty different from fantasy ones. Yo, I love that Foot of Gork is back.
On the right hand side, it's the Foot of Gork.
Foot of Gork. Foot of Gork. Foot of Gork. I'm so excited. Foot of Gork is back.
Stomps around the enemy.
Hell yes.
Great. The Gork Roarer there. It's got the skull with the mists coming out of it.
Gork Roarer.
Them in their magical spells, but at potential risk, their head could explode.
AOS rules writers can't figure out what to do with Cruel Boys. Yeah, I mean, fair.
Mork's Spitmarsh is the last one here.
Mork's Spitmarsh.
Squelching swamp. Which if
gross.
Units go anywhere near, or heaven forbid,
I like that there's just dead people in it. You do not recognize the faces in the water.
For the faction, of course, we've also got the new spearhead coming for the Iron Jaws as well. You've been asking
honestly,
for it, and here it is.
Honestly, I am pretty happy with the new orc stuff.
Led by a mega boss.
The new orc stuff. I'm like, all right, hell yeah,
rages and 5 brutes. For a seriously hitty spearhead.
That's it. You've got 4 units of infantry, so they've got to take.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just happy Foot of Gork is back. That's all I care about. That's all I care about is that Foot of Gork is back. That's the only thing that I'm like, oh, nice. Yeah, I would have liked some new Cruel Boys units. I agree. Cruel Boys are a pretty small range.
The Cruel Boys one there. The Fire and J book still has those in, so you can still.
I would have liked like one new unit of Cruel Boys.
Coming here, Alex, the Hobgrot Slitter boss.
Yes.
What a cool model, this guy. Tell me about that sword. Why is it dripping in whatever that looks like?
So these guys basically lead the Hobgrot companies, and so they get the best gubbins, the best weapons, the best scrap, all of that. And they'll tend to grab the biggest weapon, because obviously that means you're the best. And they'll slather it in various toxins and stuff, just to guarantee that they win.
This has got a really nice rule that ties in with that called Toxic Stash, where once per battle it's got a chance of outright killing an enemy hero on a lucky dice roll, which is really cool. So that's coming to lead your Hobgrots. And also we've got the new Battle Tome, of course, which has everything you've come to expect from a Mortal Realms Battle Tome, all the history of the factions that
yeah, Source Blood. I was gonna say the Mork Spit Endless spell reminds me a lot of the Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin game, which was a good game. I enjoyed that game quite a bit.
Is the big war.
Are Cruel Boys Hobgoblins? I would say Cruel Boys are much more similar to Warhammer Fantasy Hobgoblins than Hobgrots are.
And my favourite regiment of renown is called the Hurtling Hogs.
Bring all the swine.
All the swine. Add more grunters in any of the destruction armies as well, which is just really good fun.
That's great.
So there we go. That is the new Orruk Warclans coming very soon. And of course, we've got something else coming now as well. This is the new Path to Glory book, Alex.
Indeed. So this is Ravaged
What?
Coast, and
What's
we
this?
previously fought in Hellcrown along the Ravaged Coast, which is basically that region in between the Nor and the rest of Akshi. We've been fighting in Embergard, and we're right here in Hell's Claw, slap bang in the centre there. And this is basically a ruined city, previously Khornate, then Sigmarite, and
So is this a campaign supplement?
Crabs. And all four factions are basically trying to dig it up, take the Emberstone, and control this very important territory.
Path to Glory, of course, is a way of playing narrative games where you follow your heroes through
Interesting. They have not done a Path to Glory book for AOS in a long time.
Sigmar, if you're just used to playing match play, highly recommended. And this book is chock full of background and bits and pieces.
Okay. Interesting. They've not done one of those in a long time.
And the book actually contains
the last Path to Glory book was like
people have done too, which is really nice.
first edition, second edition.
Muscles as well. Yeah. It's a nice different way of playing the game. Now, we've seen the 140,000 getting their Grotmas calendar earlier on. Warhammer Age of Sigmar fans will have a similar sort of thing too, as they are getting some holiday downloads too. There's 8 regiments of renown.
I wish Realms of Ruin was a good game. I mean, the campaign was fun.
You can use them in your games
It had a fun campaign. It's a shame that it didn't connect with the community as well as we all would have liked.
Yeah, adds a different flavour.
Tis sad.
So expect those coming for Grotmas for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is cool. But that's not all for Mortal Realms. Nope. We've got even more coming.
Oh, more? More? Oh, what is that? That looks sick. What is that? A savage swarm of Gith. Whoa! Wolf Riders! Oh, wolf chariots! Holy shit! Oh, a special character? Oh my god, we're getting a full wolf range! We're getting a full wolf range! Doom Diver catapults? Oh my god! Snarl Boss on war. Oh my, it's like a whole. We're getting the full wolf faction? Oh, what the fuck? Holy shit, those look so good! Those look so fucking good! Oh my god, these look amazing! Oh my god, those look so good!
We've seen the Orruk Warclans, but now they're shorter, meaner spirited.
What the
cousins on
fuck?
the way. This is the new Gloomspite Gits coming to the Mortal
Dude,
Realms.
Gloomspite Gits
And
finally
leading the
getting
way
their.
are the Git mobs, who are these.
Gloomspite Gits have their fourth
giant
fucking.
wolves.
Look,
That's
there's
2 of these
double
guys.
goblins on the
Pretty much it.
wolves.
So
Look how
previously
big those
we-
wolves
we've been
are.
all about the moon clans, but now the Git
Oh
mobs
my
are
god,
living
they
their
look
time
so
in the
good.
sun. No pun intended. And basically, they hate Glareface Frazzlegit. So this is the lighter fish. Hish and Orgu basically provide the night and day cycle in the realms.
Holy
However,
shit,
the
I
lighter
am
fish,
so.
that's their beady little eyes.
I am
So they've
so.
decided that they're going to
My
take
wig
it
is
in.
snatched.
And
That's a
these
phrase,
guys
right?
wear loads of shiny
Oh
weapons
my
and armor,
god.
And that absorbs the
I
lighter
was
fish.
not expecting
Hopefully,
Wolf
making them a
Rider
mortal
stuff.
enemy.
They also use it as a weapon as well, don't they?
Aphotep, nice of them to do another The Old World release. Yeah, if I was running Old World Greenskins, I am using that for Old World. Fuck Fantasy Wolves, give me that.
Some of the new models coming in this army set. Now,
Oh yeah, you can use these for Hobgoblins too. The Hobgoblin Kane. Look how good those look! Holy shit, those look sick!
Even bigger snarl wolves with 2 grots on the back rather than 1. Tell me about these guys.
So these are larger snarl.
Honestly,
as you said, and
I'll say
the 2 grots on
the
the back have to raise the crop from birth in order to ride it. And this is one of those rare
these
times
guys
whereby grots
in
have to work
the,
together, because if they don't, chances are they're going to get eaten. all
These
the
guys
bosses
in
can
Gloomspite Gits is
remove them
very
from play.
funny to
How many
me,
failed
because the Gloomspite Gits, like, the whole thing is like, oh, they're the goblins that hang out in, like, the dank caves and caverns and deep forests and stuff. Then you got these fuckers that are, like, running around the plains in the sunlight and stuff.
Their frazzle burn scrap rule sees them strike first if they charged, as they glare their enemies out with it, dazzle them with the light that they've stored.
Because, like, they're you know, they're plains goblins.
That they absorb the light of Hish. And as they impact into
Gloomspite Gits is more of just Gits now. Look at the chariots, though. The chariots look fucking sick.
This is the new lightweight chariots coming along, built for speed and pulled by the Snarlfang.
The chariots look so fucking
these
good.
things are made out of wicker, and as you said, these are.
Oh, they're
really
wicker chariots.
lightweight.
Oh, they look
But
so
as you can see there, the little effigies of Glareface Frazzle Git, they will, you know, discharge that light.
You can use these
You've
in
got a
Warhammer
very
Fantasy
flammable chariot there.
effortlessly.
So eventually,
Effortlessly.
these things burn up.
They really didn't think about it, did they? Just a wonderful little kit, and covered in spikes as well. These things have got a careening destruction rule.
Oh my god, this caught me so off guard.
On the battlefield, which is quite good fun.
This caught me so off guard.
The force, the army set we've seen there. This,
yeah, there are
the Sun Chomper. Looks like
the Sun Chomper, dude. Look at that lad.
Led the Git mobs from Hish into actually during the Age of Chaos. Now, as you can probably think, that was several hundred years ago.
Holy shit, that's an old goblin.
And the reality is, he's not very old for a grot. When the first Drogs got hit by an arrow, his ran up to the second in command and went, "Go on," and jumped off.
Wait.
There has basically been a continuation of various grots that have taken on the role
so
of Drogs
the wolf
history.
So his mount Jagged Snarl is actually the one that's been keeping.
That is hysterical.
Born in Hish under the light.
So
really
the wolf is like
really he's the boss.
The wolf is like easily over 100 years old, and the fat goblin on his back is just the current one. That's amazing.
Away from combat, they are already in, which
That's
is nice.
so funny.
Really love
The wolf is the actual like legendary special character. So when somebody dies, he's like, "Oh shit! Oh crap! I need a new writers."
Flying up in the sky.
Somebody get up here.
At this. It's the new Gits Doom Diver catapult.
Dude, look at the Doom Diver. It looks so good.
Games Workshop.
Look at the like ram beastie that's pulling it
for 30 years, and here it is.
Dude, a new Doom Diver kit. Oh, it looks so cool.
Alex, why on earth would a grot put on wings?
It looks so cool.
For a grot to volunteer to be part of the Doom Diver crew, we've got to put a lot of emphasis on the word volunteer there. Rarely does that occur. So basically, straps on wings, he puts on a metal helmet that again has.
I'm so excited about this.
So upon impact,
this is so cool.
That's devastating. I love the fact there's a little tiny snotling at the back on the mechanism.
There is. So the mechanism is so unreliable that the only one that's allowed to use it is a snotling. They're the most expendable of things.
I love it. The actual
new snotling model
represents how big this miniature is. It's monstrous shooting attack. It does 4 attacks, rend 3, damage 3.
Oh fuck! Okay, that sounds like just instant death. But all right,
the Doom Dove is trying to sort of use their wings to careen into the action, and every time you use a reroll, it loses some rend there. So it's just a really nice little narrative piece. And
if I was making a custom Hobgoblin Khanate faction, I would use all of these models. Oh, look at the flail! That flail looks so cool.
So the snarl boss basically has to outsmart.
Like I would, if I was trying to make my own Hobgoblin fantasy army, I would 100% use this range. Dude, Age of Sigmar.
Looking rather large.
Say what you want about the lore.
Some classic Warhammer, isn't it?
Say what you want about the lore. Say what you want about the gameplay, the rules. Age of Sigmar minis do not miss. Oh, look, they got a new shaman.
Why is he so high up?
Look at that!
So
look at that fucking shaman on the.
Are obsessed with
Oh, that's so cool! I love that shaman model.
7 or 8 feet extra in the air.
I love that shaman model.
Does it work? Well, that's debatable. However, being up there, it gives him a really good line of sight. He can see.
Dude,
he can see all the enemies.
Fucking Age of Sigmar minis are S tier. They are consistently S tier. Like Age of Sigmar has the best model range out of every single thing Games Workshop has going. It's crazy how good their model ranges are.
But don't forget your current Moon Clan spearhead with all those horrible rock troglodytes. I've killed them once. I did it once. That's still legal.
Dude, Gloomspite Gits is like a bonkers big range now.
whole new book.
Because it's
Everything
spider
that's
goblins, night goblins, wolf goblins, and trolls. Like, it's got a ton of units in it now.
A squiggle lunch in there, which is great, and a trog herd. Yeah, I'll just have an army of squigs. Why not? That sounds fun.
Which, of course, includes squigs.
All the units and your Path to Glory rules let you raise a Grot or Troggoth hero through the ranks of the Path to Glory.
Like, that is a big book.
Really cool. It's time to move from one book to another, as we've got some stuff coming from the Black Library.
We do indeed.
All right, what do we got for Black Library? What's anything good here? Heresy is easily their best game to play. I've never played it, but you know, I can see it. Oh, okay. So Malineth. What? Okay, hold on. You're throwing a lot of shit at me here. So it looked like Darius Hink's trilogy is an omnibus now. Did they really just do a preview for a preview for Black Library?
It's special, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're getting an entire week rather than, you know, a day or a weekend. So we've got a huge range of books coming. As part of that, we've got Imperial Infantryman's Handbook.
That one's actually coming out alongside the Krieg stuff we saw before, a little bit before the celebration,
Indeed.
but
So
we'll talk about it now
sneaking
anyway.
in ahead.
What is this one?
And so this combines the Uplifting Primer and the Departmentum Unitorum Handbook, basically in one solid tome.
Neat. Don't
This
care.
was
Neat.
slightly Krieg themed, so this was previously owned by a trooper, picked up by the
These
Quartermaster, and eventually will
these
be
captions are
redistributed
not
to the
good.
troops.
It's great to see. Of course, the books we've seen before.
Who's the elf lady with
and
Gotrek
it's
now?
good
Gotrek
packages
is
like
not
that, but
with an
there's a
elf
new
right
version,
now.
and of course, don't
He's
let the
with,
Commissar
like,
see that.
random people.
Of course. What else we've got coming for the celebration?
So we've also got the Art of Warhammer 40,000, which is over 200 pages of beautiful images.
Cool. Don't care,
We've
but
got
cool.
Underdark and Red Tithe from Robbie McNiven, which we've seen before. These are the Carcharodon Astra books, but these are returning in special editions. We've got the Shade of Cain, which is basically Malineth, Gotrek's companion, has
Yes.
deserted her post and is free now again in the world. She can't return to the Agents of Azir. Gotrek doesn't particularly want anything to do with her.
Oh,
And the world has changed a great
she's
deal
alive.
since she departed, and this is basically her trying to make her way through. We've got Hell's
Interesting.
Which
So
is the
she's
next
getting
in
her
the
own
Luca
offshoot
Lesk
book.
series from
That
Tristan
is-
Hill. We've then got the Gotrek and
That's
Malineth
very
omnibus.
interesting.
Now this puts together 8 novels and short stories of Gotrek's adventures in the mortal
Jesus
realm,
Christ.
and it comes to nearly 1,000 pages.
That's a mighty tome.
Yeah,
So,
so if you're looking
and that's
for
good.
something
They were
really next
overdue
year,
for
those Dark
omnibus
Knights
for new
is really
Gotrek, so that's
Fantastic
good.
stuff. Of course, there's more coming for the Black Library celebration, but we'll
1,000
we'll reveal those
pages,
on the
fuck
Web
me.
Community
All
website
right.
at some point soon, for sure. There we go. That's been a wonderful preview. We've seen some really cool.
Very good. That's a brick, not a book. If it was hardback, you could kill someone with it. Luckily, it's only softback. Okay. So that's it for the preview show. I am pleasantly surprised. I am very pleasantly surprised. Yeah, man, that the goblins caught me super off. What the fuck? What's happening? Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that? Oh, is that Eldar? Are those the new Eldar minis? Yes, it's the new Eldar. The new Phoenix Lords, right? Yeah, so they're teasing the Eldar. Ooh, space elves. Ooh, space elves. Oh, I thought that was a tease for next time. I didn't realize they were like just gonna keep going. Whoa, swooping hawks. Those look okay. Phoenix Lord Baharroth. And then warp spiders. I hated these fuckers in Phoenix Lord Lycus. Okay, so a couple new Phoenix Lords. I like that one. That one looks cool. That's probably the coolest Phoenix Lord I've seen so far. Oh, new fire dragons. Cool, new fire dragons. And Phoenix Lord Fuegan, who leaked a little while ago. Oh, I recognize him. Phoenix Lord Asurmen. So that's 4 Phoenix Lords. And Eldar book. Okay. I imagine Eldar fans are pretty happy. They're actually finally getting updated minis.
From the webway, the Eldari have returned.
Here they are. We've been sneaking and teasing about them. We've mentioned a few things.
Well, I thought they were done.
Yeah.
They're like, haha, fuck
Finally,
you, Eldar.
Eldar here, and I tell you what, Alex, there is a war host's worth of miniatures.
Good show.
Let's take a
Good.
look at what we've got. Now, you've mentioned Fuegan. We've seen him already a little bit
Yeah,
before.
Fuegan
This model is
leaked.
just absolutely beautiful. Tell me and those watching, who is Fuegan? Why is he a big deal?
So he's one of the Phoenix Lords, and these guys were basically the original exarchs of the Aspect Warriors.
I wish they were more
It's a
dragon
guy
themed
who's
and
the
scorpion
one
themed.
Takes the armor and basically takes the place. So
I
it's
do like the
almost
burning
combines
Space Marine helmet on his
all
face,
these
though.
warriors, all this experience. And
Oh, dude, I'm sure Valrak is
he basically
losing his
embodies
fucking mind right now.
The act of oblivion that could bring peace.
I will say,
So
I
they
don't
embody a
really
different
care for the
aspect of
swooping
Canon
hawks. I
Magic
think the
in
swooping
Warhammer.
hawks are kind of
So it's like
meh.
when he's playing 40K,
But
where
the
he's like, if I
warp
kill the
spiders look
entire
really good.
army, there's no more conflict anymore.
I think the warp spiders look fantastic.
I like that guy. He carries his custom fire pike, Sear Song, the most devastating melter weapon in the game.
Sear Song.
Strength 14.
Strength 14? What?
And his big axe as well. Don't get near him. So near and afar. He's a problem.
What?
Just a wonderful miniature and really nice to see. Sculpted banner. as
That's a
well.
big
This is
number,
sculpted
sir.
banner. Good to see
on
that.
a
But of
0
course,
to 10
Fuegan
scale,
leads
a
the
14 is a
Fire
pretty
Wagons.
big number.
Another new plastic kit.
So these guys again, they embody that.
These
idea
guys
of
look nice.
destruction.
Yeah.
And one of their little kind of quirks is that they've got the intuitive ability to understand where to shoot to destroy an enemy war machine or tank. And the Exarch there in the middle. The Exarchs also have some past lives involved in their armor.
I will say the warp spiders look really
That's
nice.
so cool. There's nowhere to shoot
I
it.
really
Yeah,
actually
so
like the
that's
warp
fantastic.
spiders.
The whole unit carries fusion guns, which are melter weapons by another name, really. And if you've ever fought against eradicators for the Space Marines, these guys have a similar rule called the short destruction. They can reroll
Love
everything.
catching you live to celebrate
so they're gonna
another
kill
month.
what they shoot
Hey,
at.
Ricardo
What's
88,
really
how you
nice as
doing,
well
dude?
is
Good to
there's a
see
new
you.
weapon option
Thank you for the
Fire
39 months. I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Flamers. So
Thank you.
They can have flamers too as well.
Thank
So
you, thank you,
don't
thank
take
you.
a
I
fusion gun,
cannot
one
thank you
there
guys enough for your
maybe
support.
persuading your opponent not to come anywhere near you.
Really does mean the world to me.
And the Exarch has different weapon options. You can carry the giant fire pike or even a dragon axe for devastating close combat attacks too. So it's a really nice plastic kit, lots of different options in there. Really nice to see them in plastic. Also coming in plastic, it's more Aspect Warriors. It's a swooping hawks. These guys
I
are
don't-
drastically different, Alex. Tell me about these.
I don't think I really
So
like
these guys basically
these
wear
guys.
incredibly lightweight armor, and you can see with those wings, they're able to take to the air and give that.
I don't know what it
aerial
is.
support. They can scout out a little bit, but what they like to
I
do
just
is
don't
they
like
go
'em.
really high up. and
Prophet
so
of
when
Nox,
you look,
unless I can run a
it's
full
just this
Corsair
tiny
army,
little
I'm
straight
ambivalent
tail
about new
that
Eldar.
wipes out everything.
Sad that Karan dress hasn't been updated, and 40k has abandoned 0 to 10 as a scale. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Last back to the past of Eldari. They shoot 4 strength, 4 shots apiece. They can drop grenades on people as they fly over as well. And the Exarch has a choice of lots of different weapons, including the Sun Pistol and Power Sword, which you can see the model carrying there. They're just a really cool utility unit.
Kia, thank you very much for the 29 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Dynamism.
Prophet of Nox. So, wait, Corsairs?
That's just great to see. But of course, they also have a Phoenix Lord, and here he is. In
Are
plastic.
Corsairs
This
Dark
is
Eldar or
Baharroth.
regular Eldar?
Yes, Baharroth, the Cry of the Wind. He trained.
He looks all right.
as all the Phoenix Lords did. He was the first of their kind, and Baharroth was.
That's
the
probably
first
my
to basically
least favorite of the new
master
Phoenix
the
Lords.
abilities of aerial combat.
That's why he's got these big old beautiful wings on the back there, and he carries a terrifying weapon called the Fury of the Tempest. It's like a super duper
Very
orc
Slanesh looking sword you got there,
just
sir.
devastating. A great model having your force makes your swooping horse.
I feel like most Eldar look exactly like they did 20 years ago. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Which is
Oh,
lovely.
Corsairs are
Just a beautiful
neutral.
miniature
Okay.
and wonderful
Okay,
table
Corsairs
as well.
are a
It's
neutral
worth mentioning
faction.
that all
Alright.
these Phoenix Lords are both devastating.
I forget they exist. My brain is only capable of holding on to that. There's the Exodites, which I know are the dinosaur Eldar that don't have minis.
This is Asurmen, Phoenix Lord of the Dire Avengers, and what a miniature that is.
He is absolutely.
Yeah, it's a nice mini.
He was the first of the Phoenix Lords and basically mastered all of Kane's sort of aspects of war and taught the other Phoenix Lords various elements of that. So they each embody one aspect of it, but it's Asurmen that kind of embodies that central doctrine of battle, that calm.
But yeah, my
strategic
brain is like Eldar exists, Dark Eldar exists, Exodites exist. I forget Corsairs exist all the time.
The Bloody Twins, his personal shuriken weapons there, are damage 2, and the Sword of Asurmen that he carries there has 6 attacks at strength 6, AP 3, damage 3. He just cut Terminators in half with a single sweep. and fair, he's been around for a few hundred years, so he knows what he's doing.
He looks like a Transformer. His face has that Transformer aesthetic. I agree. The face on his helmet.
The new Eldar Codex as well, and it's a bit of an overhaul for the Eldar.
Oh, look at that! There's a Emperor's Children guy dead on the front. And lo and behold, that's going to be the only thing Space Marine fans care about. So the vast majority of the 40k community sees this guy and goes, "Look, there's the reveal. There's the reveal. A dead Emperor's Children guy. That's going to be the true reveal."
Playing on that Eldari aspect of being super flexible and super fast, which is nice. Don't worry though, Strands of Fate is still around, but only in one of the detachments, the Seer Council detachment, and it's changed a little bit. Now, talking of detachments, there are 7 in this book, which is really cool.
Fulgrim is coming. Is Fulgrim ever not coming?
If you want an army of Wraiths, it's there for you. If you want an army of Harlequins, they're in the book as well, which is nice to see. And the really one I wanted to point out here is the Devoted of Your Need, the Yanari units, because the Harlequins and the Drakari units you can use in the Eldari forces are in the Codex itself.
So you've got all the
okay, so it's
in there, so you don't need to
so they brought all of the Eldar back into one book. So the Eldar are back as one big book.
Hefty tome. It's a big old chunky tome, but it's all in there in one place, which is really good to use. And yeah, be excited about that. That's really cool. But that's not all coming for the Eldari. We've saved what we think maybe might be the best till last, because there's one last unit of Aspect Warriors we haven't seen in plastic, and here they are. It's the Warp Spiders.
The Warp Spiders look fantastic. So I actually think these guys look great.
Through defense, they're incredibly tough, but they're also, they've got a fair bit of shooting and combat in them. However, their main trick is with those backpacks. They're able to jump into the warp very briefly and essentially teleport somewhere else.
That sounds dangerous, man.
Yeah, they can arrive unseen. However, Eldari souls are...
It only took them 23 years. Well, life's not a race, as they say.
Is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, those warp generators that they carry on their backs give them a rule in the game called Flicker Jump that reflects what you just said, and they can move across the battlefield up to 24 inches, which is monstrous.
Aiden, I'm not going to explain how snake anatomy works to you.
So imagine the utility that has.
Use Google.
So they use that warp generator to do that Flicker Jump.
You're an adult, you can look it up yourself.
They might not all make it out alive.
I'm not going to explain that.
It's got loads of options here. You can see they've got a power.
I like the melee variant looking guy. That guy's really cool looking.
And a whole bunch of power blades where you can get up to 10 attacks for your Exarch in combat, which is great, even though they can't charge when they've used Flicker Jump, unless you happen to take what I think is my favourite new miniature of the release. This is the Warp.
This guy looks incredible. That is a excellent Age of Sigmar tier mini. He looks fantastic.
Warp spiders, and basically she's one of the most active of the.
Oh, she looks great. That is a kick-ass mini.
However, she spends a huge amount of her time in the warp, incredibly dangerous. That is basically the embodiment of Kayla Chicane's willingness to do anything.
That is a kick-ass
mini.
So
she'll appear on battlefields across the galaxy, unasked for, unaided, and as you said, will accompany a great range of warp spiders to.
I think that's
and they disappear straight.
That's a woman. I corrected myself.
I love that bursting out of the warp there on the model itself, and absolutely monstrous.
They're fucking Eldar. You can't tell.
We've read it. That's a sword. It's terrifying.
Sexual dimorphism among elves is not very good most of the time.
And then still charge.
It's usually a pretty thin line.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. So yeah, look out for her coming soon. It's a wonderful miniature. What a way to end the preview. That's fantastic stuff.
Okay, you're actually done now?
Don't forget, there is loads more information about all of the stuff we've seen here. Don't forget to follow Threads, YouTube. I think that's all coming on Warhammer Plus for all the latest. Much everyone who's behind the scenes helping.
I just got to make sure they don't one more thing me.
And if you're there this weekend at the World Championships or the Grand Narrative itself, have a wonderful time. You're there now. You're there right now. How are you even here? This is crazy. Thank you so much for joining us, man. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're done. That was pretty good. I don't know about y'all, but I think that was pretty good. Yeah, then they got the Amazon show that they're very excited about. Which, like, whatever, cool. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not that particularly excited for it, but I'll watch it. That was pretty good, I would say. I'll say. I don't know what EC is, but everyone's bitching and moaning about EC. Is that Eternal Crusade? I don't know what EC is supposed to be. Is that Henry Cavill stuff? No, that is not Henry Cavill's thing. It's something different. Oh, Emperor's Children. It's just another algae scheme. All right. Well, that was fun. I will say I am very pleasantly surprised. Emperor's Children definitely not going to be this year. I am very, very pleasantly surprised. The new Wolf Goblin range is gorgeous. Like, oh my god. The new Wolf Cavalry range looks absolutely fucking incredible. I am pleased as a fucking peach about that. Excellent. The new Wolf Rider Cav, absolutely incredible. Or Wolf Rider faction. I guess not just Cav, but very good. Whew, like, that was some tasty shit right there. Delicious. Delicioso. How is there no Empire mini for special characters? So they mentioned that the Empire characters, they revealed their names, and they said something along the lines that hints at that they're probably going to get minis, but it's going to be like they did with Burlock Damnenson, where the minis are not coming out with the book, they're coming out after the book. But they did hint that the Empire special characters, which is the Grandmaster of the Knights Panther, and then a general, just a general, we don't know what group he's from, will be in the book. So there's two special characters. Once again, it's the Grandmaster of the Knights Panther, and it's a general. Though we don't know if he's a Reichland general, a Middenheim general, or Midland general, or if he's an Attilan general. Or Marienburg. He could be Marienburg as well. But yeah, I am like shooketh from that goblin reveal. Like, I saw the orcs and I was like, oh my god, I hate listening to myself. I saw the orcs and I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, that's nice. I definitely would have, I'll take the endless spells and the terrain and stuff. That's cool. That's cool. And then they just came and like slapped me across the face with wolf goblins. Like, oh my god. Oh, Nuln is the special army. Okay, Nuln. Okay. But all right, cool beans, my dudes. So I'm hungry. I would very much like to go get lunch. And then I'm gonna do other things with my day. I will be back later tonight to stream. I'm thinking. We do need to finish our Vampire Count campaign. Maybe we'll either do that or Vermintide. I've actually been getting quite a bit of Vermintide in. Like, I've just been coming on and grabbing like 1 or 2 slots for Vermintide every once in a while. So we might do Vermintide, or we're gonna do Total War. Probably one of the two. But I'll be back on later today for some more stuff. Yeah, for those of you that are watching on Twitch, I'm going to send you all on a raid over to Andy Law's Twitch channel, because they're about to start Lawhammer here in literally just a minute. So please, wait. Oh, whoops. That's not the right person. It's Lawhammering. I was like, why is this a generic person? For people on YouTube chat, I'll spam the link if you're interested. They're having a really big stream today. It's going to be a really epic, spicy one. So it could be a good chance for you to check out Lawhammer, Andy Laws, who's, of course, my co-host on the Lorebeards podcast. If you've never checked out his campaign before, this could be a really good episode to tune into, because to my understanding, it's going to be a pretty significant one. That's going to be very dramatic and have a lot of crazy Skaven shenanigans and other horrors. So consider checking it out if you haven't already, and maybe you might like it, and you can, start watching the series from episode 1. But I'm going to skedaddle so I can go get food, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Biofoot, thank you for the year of support over on YouTube. I need to figure out a way to make YouTube membership interesting. I cannot for the life of me figure out what I'm going to do with that, but I need to figure something out. But in any event, appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you all soon. Oh, right. I do need to get back to playing Final Fantasy XIV. That is also something I would like to do. Decisions. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.